It's Krista with Flourish Yoga, and we are here today to do a little short sequence. We're going to try to get this done in 15 minutes or less with 5 poses. I'm going to pick my top 5 that are going to hit all of the areas that we want to stimulate or relax in terms of your hormones. All right, so before we get started, I have 2 oils we're going to add to kind of amplify the effect of this. The first one is wild orange. Just going to take a drop of that in your palm, 1 drop of salt, and then rub it together. And simply take 3 deep breaths. So wild orange is one of those ones, it's like a little ray of sunshine. So it kind of lifts our mood, but also kind of puts us in a nice calm, relaxed state, which is just what your hormones need. And you can take that residue from that one and just place it on your low back, would be lovely for when we do some work down there. And then Clear and Calm is the other oil. Now this is a blend with kind of all of the top hormones in it, so it's super great. If you are pregnant, I'm going to caution you that you are not going to use this one. So same thing with wild orange after you put it on. If you're going out in the sun, don't put it anywhere where the sun shines today because it is a little sensitive and it can cause some reactions on your skin that way. Clary sage is like incredible for hormones, but while you're pregnant, it can cause some, increase of contractions and things like that. We just don't want to play with that. So unless you know exactly what's going on with your body and this is safe, I'm going to have you caution on this one. And also we're going to place this one on this, just above from the ankle. Again, this is a place that you don't want to mess with if you're pregnant because this is where you induce contractions. So if you're not pregnant, go ahead and just rub a little bit of that, dab it on both of those. And you can take this and roll it on your abdomen. Find my belly in there. So just rub it in. Those are 2 of the great spots that we use to place this. Pulse points is another nice one for this one, but that will do for now. Okay, let's get started because our timer is ticking and we want to enjoy this really, really quickly. Quickly but relaxed, right? So coming into reclined butterfly pose. Switch from the Sanskrit into the English one. The props you need today are 2 blocks. If you don't have them, go pause and go grab those. Or just something for support. So even a chair is going to work lovely for that. And instead of the blocks for this first pose, you could use like a couple little throw pillows off the couch or a rolled towel or something like that. A bolster, same thing. You could use just a couple pillows if you don't have an official yoga bolster. It's not required. Those nice long lengthwise pillows that you might have on your couch work great, or just regular pillows, or a rolled blanket or towel, anything like that, and then towel or blanket back behind you. Okay, so come to sitting in front of your yoga bolster, whatever that looks like. I'm just gonna hug it up to my sacrum to start with, and we're gonna ease it out in just a moment. So we're gonna bring the bottoms of your feet together to a spot where that's comfortable. Placing your hands down beside you, just slowly start to lower your spine so it's nice and straight over that support. Once you get partway down, you're going to press in. Now, we're going to do this pose to create space. So this may not feel spacious for you. So you're going to press down, lift your tailbone up, lengthen it down towards your heels, and then set it back down. So now we have lots of space within there, and then releasing this out. The blocks, you want to have them, or whatever you're using for support, I'm going to have them within easy reach there. So as you bring your legs down, if your hips are naturally, whether it's anatomically or just physically tight, then you're going to have the blocks to place in underneath here. The reason why we use blocks, if your legs are just here, these muscles that we're trying to allow to relax are actually holding in because they don't want your legs to go out because it's going to hurt, right? So they're holding in. As soon as you put that little bit of support there, it's just feather light support, they're allowed to relax. As you're in the pose, feel free if you want to move those a little bit. We won't hold this for too long though. Okay, releasing back over the support. You can kind of tuck this blanket in underneath there. Arms go down alongside you. Just allowing your chest to open. Now just connect with your breath. Nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. As you breathe in, just feel this energy, this space coming into your body. As you breathe out, just allowing your body to drape over that support, to relax into that support. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. So reclined butterfly is an excellent pose for hormones. No matter you're in the middle of your menses, if you're pregnant, whatever, this one feels really good. If you're pregnant, you want to have a little bit more support underneath your back. But otherwise, it's like this total like womb-like pose for us. And what it's doing is it's opening up through the hip area. So our urinary bladder and our kidney meridians are the ones that are connected to kind of our hormone, happy hormone flow, right? And so whether it's a man or woman, right? We all have hormones and they do a lot of things besides reproduction in our body. But this kidney line runs on the inside of the leg. So that just gentle stretch through there is going to help to ease that. And then it's going to come up, and it comes up through our, the kidney line comes up through our abdomen, right, and into our chest area. So just opening and releasing this is super helpful. Plus it's just allowing space for all of this reproductive stuff, all of the organs that produce our hormones. So not just reproduction here, we're talking about, your liver, your gallbladder, all of these things that are related into this process of producing hormones, and our gut and our belly. So allow your belly to be soft. Just breathe in and breathe out to let it release. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. All right, take your legs up as you come up to so you're actually coming all the way up to standing for this. Place a block if you have them, or have a chair handy on one side of your mat. And you're just going to bring yourself up to sitting or standing and take this other support away. Okay, so I want you to stand with your back up against the wall. Okay, so we're going to do one standing pose. This is as active as we get in this one, but this one is just a beautiful pose to open through our hips, open through the chest. And as we do it at the wall, we feel this sense of support while we're in here. This is kind of like the one standing pose that they do recommend that you do when you are like in your heavy days of your period, right? Because it just gives this sense of ease to this place. Okay, nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to reach over. Your hand is going to go down on the support or on the chair or maybe on the floor if you're super uber flexible. And then this back leg is simply going to lift up. Now we're opening up our hips and extending out through the heel. Okay, you can have your hand here for support, or you can open further up through the chest and have it up. So this is our half moon pose. So just going to hold this one for just about a minute here. Not too long. So Mira Mehta is one of the Iyengar kind of specialists in yoga, and she's got a great book on Ayurveda and yoga. And one of the things she says about hormonal fluctuations is that our body needs balance and stability to change these constant fluctuations within the body. So this pose here gives us our balance, and we're getting our flexibility. So beautiful pose for this. All right. As you bring that down, just bring your leg down, just release down, just give a nice little stretch there before you roll all the way up. And then we'll do this on the other side. So legs go out wide, foot turns towards that block or that support, or I will bring your chair over the other side. I was going to say you can turn your body around, but that doesn't work because then you're facing the wall. It's not as comfortable that way. Okay, hand goes down on the block, lift that back leg up. So remember, you're lean into that support. You may have to adjust that foot if you need to. Lift that leg, open through the toes. One thing to note is don't let your head like hang down. Think of it like a crook in the neck, right? Keep it nice and long with your spine, and then your top hand can be on your hip or floating up into the sky. So just using that to support. So when you're using the wall, you can also hold this pose a lot longer, a lot more easeful. Just hold this for a couple breaths here. Just feel that opening. Enjoy that feeling of spaciousness. Good, and then bringing that leg down. We're just going to hold our ragdoll pose or our forward fold just for a moment here. So stretching up through the backs of the legs is stimulating for the urinary bladder channel, the other in the pair of the kidney and the bladder. So just kind of opening through this, and it's also stimulating for our vagus nerve, which is our calm down nerve, because stress plays such a huge part in what's going on with our hormones. So allow the top of your head to release towards the floor. Just take a couple of breaths. Good, and then just bringing your hands to the floor. If you want, this is an optional one. You can just do a little bit of a stretch in downward dog as we come through. If downward dog is not your thing, just come straight down onto the floor. And we're going to hold our bridge pose. So for this one, I'd like you to use one of your blocks if you have it. If you don't have it, totally fine. We're not going to hold it that long. But this can be a nice way to make this supportive. So lying on the ground, shoulders come onto the ground. Shoulders are going to stay on the ground, okay? So feet are about hip width apart, and your hips aren't like the outside. We're talking about the hip bone, so it's not too far. And you're going to walk your heels in fairly close towards your buttocks. And then we're just simply going to breathe in and lift up. So from here, you can place this block underneath your hips. So if you're using a yoga block, you have 3 sides, low, medium, or high. If you take it up to the high side there, if that feels right, there's 2 options. If you're in your period, it tends to go traditionally, it goes crossways. And if you're not, it goes lengthwise. So either or, you're just going to rest your sacrum, that bone there, and then just allowing your body to release over that. If you don't have, so the other thing is you're going to keep looking straight up towards the ceiling if you can, and arms just go alongside you. If you don't have the block, you're simply going to hold just like this, and this is totally fine. So bridge pose is opening up through the chest, so we're getting that open, more of an active opening this time. It's opening up through the sacrum and the low back as well. You're going to press down into your big toes, lift up a little bit higher there, if you're without the support. And then it's also pulling blood in your thyroid. So our thyroid, our pancreas, and our spleen are like 2 or 3 of these like trifecta of organs that impact our hormones. So another nice deep breath there. And then if you're using a block, taking it out, and then just slowly allow your body to release back onto the floor. Just pause there for a moment. Good, and then rolling over onto your side to come all the way back up. So we're going through these fairly quickly, which is fine. You can also just choose to, relax into these poses. You could do each of these poses for about 10 minutes. Well, maybe not the half minute. That would be a little bit hard to hold that one for that length of time. But you can take it more, or you can make it like a daily practice where it's just 15 minutes. We've got this in, and it's going to make a huge difference in your day from that point. Okay, so the next pose, or our last pose here to relax, is Upavista Konasana, or wide-legged forward fold. You may choose, and I always like this option, is to take my blanket, and I'm going to sit on the edge of that blanket. Okay? So I'm just going to tuck it in behind, and that just lifts the pelvis, and again, gives us more space. And that's another thing that this pose does, is it kind of lifts and opens the pelvis when we're in these forward folds, whether you're on the ground or not. And then, so we've got this, gentle stretch going on in the inner legs. We know that's going to help release that. We've got our body folded forward. This is calming on our body. It's going to ease through our digestion. We're just going to sneak it up. Extra little twist here. We're not counting it as one of our 5s, but we'll put it in there. And then we're ready to release down. So having a blanket, even having your chair pulled forward in front of you, so you can rest your forehead on the back of that chair, makes this super, super lovely. Or if you have a yoga bolster, just placing it in there, and then just allowing your body to release down over that. So we're just going to hold this one for a couple of minutes. This is going to act as our Shavasana. Breathing in nice and long, breathing out, just let it go. You can make this kind of yin-like, relax the legs if you like, or you can make it active where you're drawing them back. Either is good. Just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing your body a couple minutes just to do nothing, just to release, enjoy that gentle feeling of stretch, that release through the body. Just smoothly breathing in, smoothly breathing out. I'm just going to lift up slightly so I can talk to you easy, but you can stay there for just another minute. Breathe in and breathe out to let go. So yoga poses that help to open up through the hips are key and critical. Yoga poses that stimulate some of the glands that produce our hormones are super effective for us. And especially yoga poses that help us calm down. So all yoga is going to help, but there's a few key poses that will help even further. So we're going to create this in a whole extra little series in the Easy Peasy Morning Yoga. If you're a part of that program, you'll see that being rolled out soon. If you're not a part of that program, it's a great way just to start making yoga part of your day every day. Even if you've never done yoga before, or if you're already do yoga, but it's not like a daily thing, this program really helps with that. All right, just lifting up, smoothly coming back out of that pose. Just notice how you feel. You can roll your shoulders back and then bring your hands to your heart and just honoring that divine within you, honoring that goodness within you, honoring yourself. Namaste.